Twelvers, Twelver Shi'ite or Imamiyyah is the largest branch of Shi'a Islam. Adherents of Twelver Shī'ism are commonly referred to as Twelvers, which is derived from their belief in 12 divinely ordained leaders, known as the 12 Imams, and their belief that the Mahdi will be the returned 12th Imam who disappeared and is believed by Twelvers to be an occultation. Twelvers share many tenets of Shi'ism with related sects, such as the belief in Imamiyyah, but the Ismā'īlī and Zaydī Shī'ī sects each believe in a different number of Imams and, for the most part, a different path of succession regarding the Imamate. They also differ in the role and overall definition of an Imam. People of the Twelver faith form a majority in Iran, Iraq, Azerbaijan and Bahrain, and form a plurality in Lebanon and form a significant minority in Kuwait. Alevis in Turkey and Albania, and Alois in Syria, also believe in the 12 Imams of the Twelver faith. People of the Twelver faith also live in India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Kuwait, Qatar, UAE and Saudi Arabia. Smaller minorities of Twelver also exist in Oman, Yemen and Egypt. They are also in other countries such as Uzbekistan. Alternative names. The Twelvers are also known by other names, each connoting some aspect of the faith. The Shi'a is commonly used as a synonym for Twelvers since this branch comprises the majority group of Shi'a Islam. Shī'ite refers to Twelvers to the exclusion of the Ismā'īlī and Zaydī. This term refers to the majority Twelver school of jurisprudence. It is attributed to Ja'far al-Sadiq, who the Twelvers consider to be their sixth Imam. The founders of the Sunni Hanafi and Maliki schools of jurisprudence narrated hadith from Ja'far al-Sadiq. Imāmate is a reference to the Twelver belief in the infallibility of the Imam, as though the Ismā'īlī also accept the concept of Imamiyyah. This term is used specifically for the Twelvers. Overview: Twelvers believe that the descendants of the Islamic prophet Muhammad through his daughter Fatima and his son-in-law Ali are the best source of knowledge about the Quran and Islam, the most trusted carriers and protectors of Muhammad's Sunnah and the most worthy of emulation. In particular, Twelvers recognize the succession of Ali, Muhammad's cousin, son-in-law, the male head of the al-Bayt people of the Prophet's house, and the father of Muhammad's only bloodline, as opposed to that of the Caliphate recognized by Sunni Muslims. Twelvers also believe that Ali should have been successor to Muhammad. Although Ali is widely accepted by Muslims in general to be the fourth successor to the Caliphate after Uthman, for the Shi'a, however, he is the first divinely sanctioned Imam, or divinely appointed spiritual leader after the Prophet Muhammad. The seminal event in Shi'a history is the martyrdom in 680 CE of Ali's son Husayn, who led an uprising against the, illegitimate to them, Caliph. For the Shi'a, Husayn came to symbolize resistance to tyranny. Regardless of the dispute about the Caliphate, Twelvers recognize the religious authority of the 12 Imams, also called Khulafa Ilahi. Theology. Sharia, religious law. The Shī'ite derive their Sharia, or religious law, from the Quran and the Sunnah. The difference between Sunni and Shi'a Sharia results from a Shi'a belief that Muhammad assigned Ali to be the first ruler and the leader after him. Moreover, according to Shi'a, an Imam or a Caliph cannot be democratically elected and is to be nominated by God. Sunnis believe that their caliphs were popular and had greater vote, so they were made caliphs. This difference resulted in the Shi'a, following hadith from Muhammad Ahmad and his descendants the 12 Imams, not accepting the examples, verdicts, and ahadith of Abu Bakr, Umar and Uthman ibn Affan. Attributing the concept of the Mazahim infallibility to the 12 Imams or the 14 infallibles and accepting the examples and verdicts of this special group. Main doctrines. Twelvers believe in the 5 pillars of Islam, as do Sunnis, but categorize them differently. Twelver beliefs include the following: principles of faith, Tawhid, the oneness of God; Eid al, the justice of God; Nubuwwah, God has appointed perfect and infallible prophets and messengers to teach mankind the religion; Imāmate, God has appointed specific leaders to lead and guide mankind. A prophet appoints a custodian of the religion before his demise. Qiyamah, God will raise mankind for judgment, the day of resurrection. ancillaries of the faith, Salat meaning connection, establish the 5 daily prayers, called namazed in Persian and Urdu. Sawm fasting during the holy month of Ramadan, called Rasi in Persian. Zakat charity. Zakat means to purify. Khums tax. Hajj performing the pilgrimage to Mecca. Jihad struggling to please God. The greater, internal jihad is the struggle against the evil within one's soul in every aspect of life, called jihad akbar. The lesser, or external, jihad is the struggle against the evil of one's environment in every aspect of life, called jihad asghar. This is not to be mistaken with the common modern misconception that this means holy war. Writing the truth and speaking truth in front of an oppressor are also forms of jihad. Commanding what is just. Forbidding what is evil. Tawalla loving the Ahl al-Bayt and their followers. Tabara dissociating oneself from the enemies of the Ahlul al-Bayt. The concept of Imams. The 12 Imams are the spiritual and political successors to Muhammad, in the Twelver or Ithnā ashariyyah branch of Shi'a Islam. According to the theology of Twelvers, the successor of Muhammad is an infallible human individual who not only rules over the community with justice, but also is able to keep and interpret the Sharia and its esoteric meaning. The Prophet and Imam's words and deeds are a guide and model for the community to follow. As a result, they must be free from error and sin, and must be chosen by divine decree, or nas, through Muhammad. It is believed in Shi'a Islam that Aql, a divine wisdom, was the source of the souls of the prophets and Imams and gave them esoteric knowledge, called hikmah, and that their sufferings were a means of divine grace to their devotees. Although the Imam was not the recipient of a divine revelation, but his close relationship with God, through which God guides him, and the Imam in turn guides the people. The Imamate, or belief in the divine guide, is a fundamental belief in Shi'a Islam and is based on the concept that God would not leave humanity without access to divine guidance. According to Twelvers, there is always an Imam of the age, who is the divinely appointed authority on all matters of faith and law in the Muslim community. Ali was the first Imam of this line, and in the Twelvers' view, the rightful successor to the Prophet of Islam, followed by male descendants of Muhammad, also known as Hasnains, through his daughter Fatima. Each Imam was the son of the previous Imam, with the exception of Husayn ibn Ali, who was the brother of Hassan ibn Ali. The 12th and final Imam is Muhammad al-Mahdi, who is believed by the Twelvers to be currently alive, and in hiding. List of Imams. The Shia Imams are seen as infallible. It is an important aspect of Shia theology that they are not prophets nor messengers, but instead carry out Muhammad's message. While Sunni Muslims view all religions and groups that accept prophets or messengers after Muhammad to be heathen or heretical, Shia Muslims do consider the Imams to be higher in rank than all the prophets and messengers except Muhammad. The role of Imam al-Mahdi. In Twelver eschatology, Muhammad ibn Hassan ibn Allah, or al-Mahdi, is the 12th Imam and the Mahdi, the ultimate savior of mankind and prophesied redeemer of Islam. Twelvers believe that the Mahdi has been hidden by God and will later emerge to change the world into a perfect and just Islamic society alongside Jesus before the Yawm al-Qiyamah. Other Shia schools, such as Zaydī, Ismā'īlī and Bohra, adhere to different Imam successions and do not consider Muhammad ibn Hassan the Mahdi as Imam. Comparative jurisprudence, Twelver Sunni. This list is not exhaustive nor representative of the Sunni Shia dispute on religious jurisprudence. Shahada, Declaration of Faith. Arabic text. Oxuoyyuo section ouuoumuuoumuuu, oxuoyyuo plus or minus oqduuoumuuu. Romanization. E3/4 or Haydu E3/4 and La ilaha illa Allah E3/4 or Haydu E3/4 Anamu Yenamadan Reza Lu Allah. English rendering. I testify that there is no God but Allah and, I testify that Muhammad is messenger of Allah. In usage the occurrences of E3/4 or Haydu E3/4 and I testify that are very often omitted. Another rendering current among some English-speaking Muslims, but without a historical tradition, is, I bear witness that, there is none worthy of worship except God, and Muhammad is the messenger of God. This version relies on a translation of as being worthy of worship, something which is correctly said in Arabic but does not translate well into English syntax. Twelvers, along with Sunnis, agree that a single honest recitation of the Shahada in Arabic is all that is required for a person to become a Muslim according to most traditional schools. A vast majority of Twelvers often add at the end of the Shahada. This testifies that Allah is also the leader of the believers along with God and Muhammad, proof of which Shi'a theologians find in the Quran. Quran 555, though this form of the Shahada is recited daily by other Shi'a sects such as the Nizari Ismā'īlis, Twelvers view it as musjanat, but not ajib. Taqlid, accepting a scholar's verdict. Prayer. There are minor differences between Sunnis and Twelver Shī'a in how the prayer ritual is performed. During the purification ritual in preparation for prayer, the Shī'a view wiping the feet with wet hands is sufficient, as opposed to some of the Sunnis who consider complete washing of the feet necessary. Also, Shī'a do not use their fingers to clean inside the ears during the ablution ritual. A prerequisite for purification is that one has to be clean before performing the purification ritual. Notes: Sunni often pray 2 rak'ah nafil after Dhuhr, Maghrib and Isha. According to Shia Muslims, these are to be performed in sets of 2 rak'ah each. Be prayed daily by Muhammad. See mustahab to do every day. Ajib. Sunnah mu'akkada. D replaced by on Fridays, which consists of 2 rak'ah. According to Abu Currency al-Nafar, R starts when the shadow of an object becomes twice its height. For the rest of Sunni Imams, R starts when the shadow of an object becomes equal to its length. Rs ends as the sun begins to set. According to Shia Muslims, Rs prayer and his hall prayer have no set times but are performed from midday. Zuhr and Rs prayers must be performed before sunset, and the time for Rs prayer starts after Zuhr has been performed. Maghrib and Isha prayers must be performed before midnight, and the time for Isha prayer can start after Maghrib has been performed, as long as no more light remains in the western sky signifying the arrival of the true night. According to Shia Muslims, this prayer is termed nawafil. During prayer, it is the Jafara view that it is preferable to prostrate on earth, leaves that are not edible or wood, as these 3 things are considered purest by Muhammad in hadith specifically mentioning tayammum. Hence many Shia use a tabah, a small tablet of soil, often taken from the ground of a holy site, or wood during their daily prayers upon which they prostrate. In the Jafara view, the hands are to be left hanging straight down the side during the standing position of the prayer, while the Sunni schools of thought hold that they should be folded. The Jafara consider the 5 daily prayers to be compulsory, though the Jafara consider it acceptable to pray the 2nd and 3rd prayer, and the 4th and 5th prayer, one after the other during the parts of the day where they believe the timings for these prayers to overlap. The other 3 Sunni schools allow this consolidation of daily prayers only while traveling or under some other constraint. Khums, 1/5 tax. Khums is the Arabic word for 1/5. In Islamic legal terminology, it means 1/5 of certain items which a person acquires as wealth, and which must be paid as an Islamic tax. According to Shi'a, the items eligible for khums are referred to as ghanima in the Quran. The Arabic word ghanima has 2 meanings: spoils of war, or war booty, gain or profit. The Sunni translate this word exclusively as war booty, or spoils of war. The Twelvers hold the view that the word ghanima has 2 meanings as mentioned above. The second meaning is illustrated by the common use of the Islamic banking term al-ghunm bilghur, meaning gains accompany liability for loss or risk. Also, in a famous supplication, the supplication after the noon prayer, the person asks God to bestow on him his favors. One of those favors which the person asks is the benefit or gain from every act of righteousness. The word used here is al-ghanima. This is in accordance with the second meaning of the word. Muta, temporary marriage. Nikah yen el-muta, nikah el-mitar, or sire, is a fixed-time marriage which, according to the Usulai Shia schools of Sharia, is a marriage with a preset duration, after which the marriage is automatically dissolved. It has many conditions that can be considered as prerequisite, similar to that of permanent marriage. It is the second form of Islamic marriage. However, it is regarded as haram by Sunnis. This is a highly controversial fiqh topic. Sunnis and Shia hold diametrically opposed views on its permissibility. But some of the Sunni Muslims recognizes nikah. Mutah existed during the time of the Prophet Muhammad, and during his time it was not prohibited. On this principle, Shias believe that anything that was allowed during the time of the Prophet should remain allowed after. Calendar. Twelver Shī'ī celebrate the following annual holidays: Eid al-Fitr, which marks the end of fasting during the month of Ramadan and falls on the first day of Shawwal. Eid al-Adha, which marks the end of the Hajj or pilgrimage to Mecca, starts on the 10th day of Dhu al-Hijjah. The following holidays are observed by Twelver Shi'as, unless otherwise noted. The Morning of Muharram or Remembrance of Muharram and Ashura for Shia commemorates Imam Husayn ibn Ali's martyrdom in the Battle of Karbala. Imam Husayn was grandson of Muhammad, who was killed by Yazid ibn Muawiyah, the second caliph of the Umayyad Caliphate. One group of Sunni scholars have deemed Yazid to be a kafir, for example. Sunni scholar Ibn Jawzi in Wafa al-Wafa, another has stated he was a fasik, a fayya and a drunkard. Yazid considered nikah with mothers and sisters to be permissible and drank alcohol. Ashura is a day of deep mourning which occurs on the 10th of Muharram. Sunnis also commemorates Imam Husayn ibn Ali's martyrdom, but little different from Shias. Arba'een commemorates on 40th day of Imam Husayn's martyrdom. 40th day is an auspicious day for any deceased as per Islam, remembering the suffering of Imam Husayn and his household, the women and children. After Husayn was killed, they were marched over the desert, from Karbala to Sham. Many children died of thirst and exposure along the route. Arba'een occurs on the 20th of Safar, 40 days after Ashura. Milad al-Nabi, Muhammad's birth date, is celebrated by the Shia on the 17th of Rabi al-Awwal, which coincides with the birth date of the 6th Imam, Ja'far al-Sadiq. Mid-Sha'ban is the birth date of the 12th and final Imam, Muhammad al-Mahdi. It is celebrated by Twelvers on the 15th of Sha'ban. Many Shia fast on this day to show gratitude. Eid Al Ghadeer celebrates Adirkum, the occasion when Muhammad announced Ali's Imamate before a multitude of Muslims. Eid Al Ghadeer is held on the 18th of Dhu al-Hijjah. Al-Mubaylah celebrates a meeting between the Ahl-al-Bayt and a Christian deputation from Najran. Al-Mubaylah is held on the 24th of Dhu al-Hijjah. Martyrdom of Imam Husayn, the death of the grandson of Muhammad and the son of Ali, Husayn ibn Ali on the 10th of Muharram, known as Ashura, plays a significant role in Twelver theology. This day is annually commemorated with grief and sorrow. Some participate in ritual beating of their chests, as some believe this is a form of expressing the helplessness that comes from a practical inability to have helped Husayn and his small troop of 72 family and supporters. Some hit themselves as a form of emotional unlove for the Ahl-al-Bayt and their sacrifice and martyrdom. In most nations with significant Shia populations, one can observe large crowds in processions grieving over Husayn's death. The events of Ashura tell a story of a leader fighting against an oppressive tyrant, Yazid, who seized power and had committed atrocities against the people of the empire that he had inherited. Notable scholars. Historical. Contemporary, guardianship of the jurisprudent. Traditionally Twelver Shī'a Muslims consider Ali ibn Abi Talib and the subsequent further 11 Imams not only religious guides but political leaders, based on a crucial hadith where Muhammad passes on his power to command Muslims to Ali. Since the last Imam, Muhammad al-Mahdi, went into occultation in 939 and is not expected back until end times, this left Shia without religiously sanctioned governance. In contrast, the Ismā'īlī Imams did successfully gain political power with the Fatimid Caliphate. After the fall of the Fatimid Caliphate, Ismā'īlī Shi'ism started to lean towards secular thought. The first Shia regime, the Safavid dynasty in Iran, propagated the Twelver faith, made Twelver's law the law of the land, and patronized Twelver scholarship. For this, Twelver ulama crafted a new theory of government, which held that while not truly legitimate, the Safavid monarchy would be blessed as the most desirable form of government during the period of awaiting for Muhammad al-Mahdi, the 12th Imam. In general, the Shia adhere to one of three approaches towards the state: either full participation in government, that is, attempting to influence policies by becoming active in politics, or passive cooperation with it, that is minimal participation, or else most commonly, mere toleration of it, that is remaining aloof from it. Historically, Zaydī and Ismā'īlī Shi'a Imams functioned as both religious and political leaders, but later after the fall of the Fatimid Caliphate the Ismā'īlī Imamate became a secular institution. In general, Twelver Shī'ī historically remained secular. This changed with Iranian Revolution where the Twelver Ayatollah Khomeini and his supporters established a new theory of governance for the Islamic Republic of Iran. It is based on Khomeini's theory of guardianship of the Islamic jurist as rule of the Islamic jurist, and jurists as legatees of Muhammad. While not all Twelver Shī'ī accept this theory, it is uniquely Twelver and the basis of the Constitution of Iran, the largest Shia Muslim country, where the supreme leader must be an Islamic jurist. Criticism. Footnotes. See also, Persecution of Shia Muslims, Bada, Ismailism. Further reading, the book Juri Mansur Dadhalati Ulama-e Zangipa, the book Matlae Anwar, the book Kershidi Kawa, the thesis on life of Jawd al-Ulama research work of Dr. Inayat Ali, the booklet Hakama published Jamia Imāmiyyah, Banaras. References, Encyclopædia Britannica Online. Encyclopædia Britannica, Incorporated. Encyclopædia Iranica. Center for Iranian Studies, Columbia University. ISBN A1-56859-050-4, Martin, Rishad C. Encyclopedia of Islam and the Muslim World. Volume 1. Macmillan. ISBN A0-02-865604-0, Encyclopedia of the Modern Middle East and North Africa. Gale Group. 2004. ISBN A978-0-02-865769-1, Corbin, Henry. History of Islamic Philosophy, translated by Liardon Shrud, Philip Shrud. London. Kegan Paul International in association with Islamic Publications for the Institute of Ismā'īlī Studies. ISBN A0-7103-0416-1, Momen, Muajan. An Introduction to Shi'a Islam, The History and Doctrines of 12. Yale University Press. ISBN A0-300-03531-4, Sayyidina, Abdulaziz Abdul Hussein. The Just Ruler in Shi'ite Islam, The Comprehensive Authority of the Jurist in Imamite Jurisprudence. Oxford University Press US. ISBN A0-19-511915-0, Tabataba'a, Sayyid Muhammad al-Jahan. Hossein Naz. Shi'ite Islam. SUNY Press. ISBN A0-87395-272-3, External links, A Brief Introduction of 12 Imams, A Brief History of the Lives of the 12 Imams, A Chapter of Shi'a Islam by Muhammad Hussain Tabatabai, The 12 Imams taken from a Shi'ite anthology by Muhammad Hussain Tabatabai, A Short History of the Lives of the 12 Imams, Ithnā ashariyyah, an article by Encyclopædia Britannica Online, al-aslam.org, Ahlul-Bayt Digital Islamic Library Project, 12 Media Source, Imamiyyah Mission Shia Organization in United Kingdom.